Thank you, Madam Chair. Members of the committee, Chris Boyle on behalf of Invenergy. Senator, if I just could, on that question you had about the solar farm, the EFSB only applies to generating facilities of 40 megawatts or more. So it's the larger type of, so your community would have an absolute role, I'm sure, in that solar project, which would be under the 40. So zoning and all those other.
Chris, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I wasn't intending to make the parallel. All I was saying is that it's in my backyard situation. That's what I was saying.
So and that's where, that's a matter of policy for the General Assembly to determine how they want to site energy facilities. In 1986, we made a determination that, let me go back in time, pre-1986, you really couldn't cite a facility in Rhode Island. You had dozens and dozens of state agencies and local governments who could veto any type of energy project. So there was an attempt in '86 to create some sort of centralized, logical, rational way of citing these generating facilities, and they have had some approved and some have not been approved. And I just wanted to make just a couple of quick points. I think the legislation that requires the big shift and which really creates a local veto or a veto for every agency involved. So you're really going back to pre-1986 here, is that currently it's the EFSB who decides whether or not the applicant has supplied sufficient information. And as John and Jerry Elmore identified, the current statute does give the EFSB power to say, you have not provided the information that's required, and we're going to deny your application. That's current law. The proposed law says the building inspector of Burrillville will determine whether or not Invenergy or anybody other applicant has supplied sufficient information. So clearly it would give a veto to any of the agencies that are required or requested to give an advisory opinion. So there was a really shift of power and application in that. Thirdly, and this came up before the House Finance Committee, and I know Mr. McElroy is here on behalf of the town of Burrillville, but I think there is some general agreement amongst attorneys that you really can't apply this retroactively. This is an application that was filed in October of 15. Again, citing policy is up to this General Assembly, but we don't think the General Assembly has the power to retroactively change the rules. And I think there is some serious and constitutional problems with trying to apply this to the current Invenergy application. Prospectively, again, that's a matter of policy for all of you to make how you or do not want to have how this process will work. Thank you.